So the sun just rose a few minutes ago. It's May 29th, and it's a beautiful morning. It's around 6:30 now. I wanted to do a quick tour before I rake up in the yard. This is how it's looking now after being rained on and having more sand put down. That's my steel drum. It's set up so when this shepherd's hook is bumped, oh, there's some weights on it balanced ever so precisely. Those are nice. I like the curvature of the metal. It's pretty. I cleaned it up. There's quite a bit more stuff on it earlier, but there's the ground. It's got some sand with grass creeping through. There's two different kinds of sand here. There's the coarse grit on the left and the fine grit on the right. This stuff is more comfortable for the feet. This stuff is nice on the feet too. And the rain does interesting things to both of them. Just gonna give you a tour around so you can see it. If you can see the ground, it's very beautiful now how the rain has sorted out the larger and smaller particles. I feel a particle that should not be here. Oh, it's a bamboo. Thought it was plastic. There's another bamboo on the wire. See if I can find the wire and show you it. It's a wire, and that's the shed. This ground, so nicely sorted out. I'm gonna rake it, which will ruin the pristine rain feel, but it'll get some of this debris off of it, the little pokey bits of pine straw and leaves and sweet gum balls. Here is a wire. Here's another wire. Whatever's down that way, I guess I should check out. Where does it go? Look at this vegetation. It's very fun to walk on between the sand. Some of this is supposedly weeds, but I like it. Here's some thicker grass. This is the Bermuda, the neighborhood association likes. But there's some sand in between sprigs, which makes it comfortable to walk on. So it's the best of both worlds, really. Here's a propane heater. Which is also a musical instrument and gets dripped on by the rain. There's some more of the rain's cleansed grass poking up through the sand. There's a pine cone. There's a few different kinds of grass that would seem growing here. It's this compost barrel. It's Wheel of Fortune. Somebody's got to play Vanna White and say Wheel of Fortune with the crowd as the fans go wild. But this reminds me kind of one of those raffles they used to use at churches to do a lottery. I guess they use them in modern lotto too. Now they have more complicated machines, but still a compost barrel style spinner would not be the worst way to distribute the random numbering. I wonder if they really are random or they choose the people that win the lottery. Here's a wire again. This bamboo will serve as an elevator, a suspender to help the bamboo to stand up straight, and the whatchamacallit wire to be suspended so it's not in my face. There's the end of it. There's a node with a little branch poking off, a little forked branch. That's pretty. this way. Well, here's the ground, what I'm feeling. I don't know what's ahead, so I'll just describe what's on the ground. Grass and sand. Feels very interesting. The grass is like little soft dragon feathers. Dragons don't have feathers. Wait, they can if they want, and they do oftentimes too. They're formed like birds that are chirping and chirping and chirping and chirping out there. Here's the trees. There's the sand I stepped back up on, the play sand, the playground sand, or masonry sand as it's also known. Nicer sand that they use to make. You can use either sand to make mortar, but let's see what else is here. There's my greenhouse. There's my tools, a few tools, a rake, a broom, a couple of rakes, a hula hoop. You might ask what that's used for, but if you want to put your guess in the comments, I'd like to hear. Over on the other side is some flower pots and potting soil. I buried a mouse one of the cats killed the other day. Yeah, I buried your mouse. I buried his mouse in a pot of whatchamacallit, potting soil with some gravel, some limestone gravel at the bottom. That see, and some acorns too. Oh my god, let me show you the acorns as long as I'm doing a video. They're so pretty. That's a pan with holes in the bottom, a steam table pan. I got it to try to make a cat urinal, but it wound up out here instead because it didn't quite work with the litter we had. I'll do another design eventually, but here's the box. Here's an acorn. That one doesn't have a sprout coming out, but it's split very interestingly. The shell there, if you can see it, it's kind of splitting off. There's the top where the trunk would come up, and where the cap was, there's the bottom where the root may come out. See if there's anywhere the root is coming out. Here's one. That's a pretty piece of nature. Acorn germinating. Let's see what else may be found. Oh, here's a larger sprout. Look at that sprouty sprout coming out. Out. That's a sprout. That's going to be an oak tree. It is an oak tree. It's a baby oak tree. Here's another baby oak. Look at that, how the root is curled around. I kind of question the moisture level in here, so I'm going to put some more water. It does seem a little bit dry. These can die if they don't get enough moisture, or they get too much. So, dragging this over the sand makes me think I should do sand sledding and have a sand hill. The neighborhood association is not like that. HOAs are ruthless. What bird is against them? And the cat. The cat sounds like a bird. I wonder if they do bird calls to get them to chirp. They say a cat will hypnotize a bird. They say a cat, my aunt was hypnotized by a cat the same way that they hypnotize birds. They do a thing with their tail and their eyes. Where is the edge that I'm trying to drag this towards to get water? This is the corner of a building. No, this is the corner of a porch. The cat is up. The cat distracted. The cat hypnotized me. A cat distracts. How about that? Well, I want to get these acorns over to the water. And a little bit. Oh, there's the stairs. It's kind of not knowing where I dragged it to. It's in a completely different position than I thought. I thought it was over there by the greenhouse, but come to find out, it's over here. So I'm dragging it up the sandhill. The sandhill must have confused me. Glad I just have a small sandhill to get lost on one side or the other of. But I'm up on the concrete pad now, and the sand makes it so much more comfortable too. Sand really is a good unifying medium for man-made structures and the environment, and semi-man-made structures like the lawn. Turning the water on and just a little bit there. Okay, now I need the top again to keep it from evaporating. There's some plastic in there which helps, but it should be not the plastic that should be in there. I don't know why that plastic is in there. There's some cardboard. There's sand underneath it. Oh, these are whatchamacallits. This was originally, ouch, something bit my toe. Just wash it off. Got a time crunch, but that was a tour of Mountain Beach. My back porch steps. There are the steps leading up to the porch, which is a spatula porch. And there's the yard. Sand again. Going out towards the rest of the yard I just walked through. The forest. The greenhouse. The rakes and the broom. Hula hoop and hose bib. Back of the stairs themselves. The shepherd's hook with the steel drum on it. Wires leading off. There's a table over there and a shed, and some lumber and buckets under the porch with glass shards and a variety of other things potentially nestled away down there. What else? The yard. There's a swing over there. Some more sand. It's another island in Mountain Beach. The other island at the top of the hill got conquered by the neighbors, but there's still grass. There's still not grass. There's still sand underneath. It'd be nice to put sand like this and let the grass grow through like it's starting to do over there. But I had to uproot a lot of it to get my sand to be really, really in command. I guess you could say I'm a sand commando.